Hey everyone, my name is Marissa. Welcome to my divination channel. I am so excited to be here with you guys and to offer you guys these readings. If you're new here, welcome. Just a little bit about me and why I do this. My purpose and my calling, I guess you could say, in this incarnation is to help people to listen and hear and trust the wisdom of their soul as much as they can. And there are different methods and containers that I've been guided to naturally in this life to help do so. And I have found tarot and divination in general to be a wonderful tool to just help us remember that we have this seamless connection to the divine, and it's all about fine-tuning our own ability to trust that and to hear that and cultivating our own unique gifts and ways that we have to interpret that soul stream or soul signature. So really happy to be here and to share this reading with you guys. I had so much fun. I already filmed them, and there are 5 aspects for each group we'll be diving into. The first aspect is addressing you as you are in your energy, just to confirm that you chose the right pile. Next is what your highest path looks and feels like. Then we'll get into what's blocking you the most. We'll get into what's helping you the most, as well as how you can make progress, even more progress, because a lot of you guys are already living in alignment to a great degree in terms of alignment to your soul's blueprint and your highest destiny path. All right, so you have 3 groups to choose from today. Here's an up close of your cards. Take your time. There's no rush, but when you are feeling ready, you can just hop right into your reading. Hey, group number 1, welcome to your reading. This is about your highest path, okay? This is a little bit of a check-in with your higher self and your guides, hopefully confirming what you already know deep down to be true about yourself and your path, and bringing some encouragement to you, okay? Maybe checking out some blind spots that you might not see. So just so you know, I'm gonna leave the shuffling portion in here. You can go ahead and skip right into the reading, but I have been enjoying leaving this portion in for the readings. So we're just gonna get right into it. I've already connected with the guides that are overseeing those beings that will be drawn to this pile in particular. And right now we're asking Spirit, the energy of pile 1 as they currently are. What is their energy? What are they embodying? Pile number 1, just to confirm this is their pile. Give us the overall energy of pile number 1. What are they embodying? What does it feel like to be them? What is the energy of pile number 1 currently, please, Spirit? Okay, and this one. All right, next we are asking, what is pile 1's highest path? The guides overseeing pile 1, those beings drawn to pile 1. What does their highest path look like and feel like, please? What is their highest path? All right, we don't want any sneak peeks, okay? Anything else you want to say about pile 1's highest path, please? Anything else about pile number 1's highest path? Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and bring some clarifying energy in for that question, their highest path. We want to get a lot of juicy details around this aspect in particular. So more clarification, please, Spirit. Okay, anything else? Pile 1's highest path. What does it look and feel like? Any juicy, yummy details you can give us? Anything else? Okay, we'll keep it there. What is pile number 1's main obstacle? What is pile number 1's main obstacle? Pile number 1's main obstacle, okay. What is pile number 1, what is helping pile number 1? What is currently helping pile number 1 on their path? Their highest path possible. What is currently helping them? And I'm going to leave this out. And how can progress be made? How can progress be made with pile number 1, please? How can pile number 1 make progress along their highest path, please? What's the next steps? Okay. All right, so pile number 1, your energy. Fire guardian, ignite your passion. So currently you are showing up as someone that is really devoted to their transformational journey. You're someone that has a lot of inspiration you're working with. I'm seeing a very active kundalini. If not, your sacral center is very active, okay? Very powerful. I'm seeing that you are embodying the energy of being a leader, being a teacher in some cases. You're someone that is always wanting to be your best version of self. You're always craving that next level of yourself. You're always learning. You're always guiding. You're teaching. Even if you seek out those avenues or not, it's just very natural for you to be a guide, a teacher, a leader. I feel like you are here as an overseer of humanity at this time. You're someone that is definitely here helping this ascension process. Again, whether you know that or not, your energy and just you being on this planet is very inspiring, and it's helping to shift codes on this planet. Okay, so you're someone that does not want to settle for the bare minimum in this life. You really have a vision that feels very grand, and that is probably inclusive of everyone else becoming their best version of self. And you're showing up as someone, for the most part, again, our energy is always going to be ebbing and flowing, but for the most part, you are showing up as someone that is very excited and always is anticipating good things happening and moving forward, right? Constantly moving forward. Maybe you even do some sort of like energy work or energy balancing or something. You know, I'm just noticing this levitating here. But something about, your energy goes before you is what I just heard. Your energy goes before you. So you have a very powerful field. I'm hearing something about the breath of fire, which in this, the guides are using that as a symbol of, that is a technical breath that we use to charge our auric field. Okay, so that goes hand in hand. You have a very powerful auric field. Okay, so your energy, shedding old skin. Yeah, that was essentially everything that was just saying about transformation. Okay, currently your energy, you're getting ready to embody a new version of yourself. I feel like you can already feel it. Things feel like they're heading in a really good direction for you. You feel like you're getting ready to step into a new paradigm. You probably even feel like a new version of yourself already. Like a version of yourself that you've been waiting for, and just feeling like it's a breath of fresh air, and it's like you can't wait to take off this like old skin. You can't wait. It's like a jacket that doesn't fit you anymore, and you're feeling very excited and anticipatory for this next phase of your life. It's like you're expecting something. I'm getting the sense that you're expecting something, but you don't quite know what it is, and it's going to surprise you. As this skin continues to shed, it's going to surprise you. Lastly, Oracle. Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, everything you were saying. It's like you're waiting for something to come in, waiting for something important to show up, or for your next step, for your next move. It feels like anticipatory, that like this really confirms everything that I was saying, right? And feeling and getting from your guides. And it feels like you're in a very contemplative, but also activated. It's like, I'm also getting the sense that you're trying to tame yourself down a little bit, almost like you're like, okay, I'm feeling that I'm very excited and ready for this new timeline, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself. Like trying to stay grounded is essentially the energy that I'm getting here from you. Okay, so we're going to move on just to confirm that is you. If that does not sound like you, then yeah, oh my gosh, there's so much like Kundalini symbolism here too. The snake reminds me of Kundalini rising. So yeah, you're probably having a lot of visions and activations and just feeling like very high, right? Very high. So what is your highest path? What does that look and feel like? So we have exchanging gifts. So I do see this as you utilizing your natural gifts and your natural talents to give back to the world in some way. And eventually this is meant to support you. Okay, I'm going to be bold enough to already say that. All right, so I feel like this is kind of the transition you're going through or you're feeling right now. It's leading you more and more towards this direction. It doesn't always happen overnight, but we do take like significant leaps and paradigms. And I feel like you're kind of going through like a quantum shift, a quantum leap.
But yeah, there's a saying of like your vocation is what the world needs, right? What the world needs and your natural gifts and talents, that's an ideal vocation for you. Okay, so there's something that is relevant here for you in that sense of what are you naturally guided towards, what do you like to study, what do you like to talk about, and can all of these different aspects, all of these different things kind of cross over into each other to be of service to the planet? Can these things work out together in some sort of way? Is there a common denominator? So quick example, I love tarot. I also love breath and meditation, right? And I'm going through a certification course for that right now. And I'm like, do those feel like they don't really mix? And my guides were like, hold up. But you're all about, my calling is all about helping people to trust themselves and to find that inner teacher, the inner guide. And tarot is a tool for that. And breathwork and meditation is a tool to help clear the pathway between the limited mind and the higher mind so we can more clearly hear the voice of the soul. And I was like, okay, yes, spirit, we gonna do this, okay? We're gonna see how these things work. So something like that too, like how can these kind of work together, your gifts and talents, and start moving in that direction. So highest path, chaos and conflict, you're here to heal that on the planet. I was already getting that, helping to heal the disruption on the planet. Okay, so your gifts have something to do with making the planet a more peaceful place, making the planet a more calm place, and to give people the tools to not avoid it, to not run from their chaos and conflict. And there's something about your message and what you're helping to teach humanity about. There's something about learning how to meet those challenges because there's an awareness that these are our soul's lessons and that these generally go hand in hand with our gifts. Those things that challenge us the most generally are here to provoke something within us to come alive, okay? So your highest path, milk and honey, you're meant to be taken care of, okay? It's meant to be lavish. You're meant to be like swimming in the divine nectar. It's meant to feel dreamy. It's like pinch me kind of energy I'm getting where you radiate, okay? Your highest path is a path of radiance. It's a path of just being in flow with life and sharing, it's abundance, okay? Some of you guys could even be in your own way, like this could be very, very creative. I feel like sometimes you can try to, put a box in how it's supposed to look. But yeah, you could be a dancer. You could be working with animals. You could be utilizing like food and like nutrition. Ayurveda or like herbology, something about what has helped heal you and what you're really interested in. And you have a natural, I'm hearing this, you have a natural connection and a natural wisdom around these things. And you're bringing a flavor to the table that no one else can bring. And I am hearing that there are people waiting for you. There are people waiting for you to embody your gifts and to stand in your gifts confidently because there's a message that you have that no one else can give in the way that you can give it, okay? But yeah, it's meant to be like this everywhere you go. The rainbow is a symbol for, I got you. The universe has got you. And that we don't know how miracles work, but, they do. And that's the language of the universe. So you're meant to kind of be in this in the realms where you're taking your cues from these very subtle realms, right? And fire is also a very subtle, right? There's a subtle radiance about fire too. So let's get more details. So we have 8 of Cups. We have Knight of Wands. We have Ace of Cups. And we have Strength. So for some of you, you guys have been wondering if this is even something that is possible. Okay, I'm seeing that you've been wondering, can I even do this? Do I even have what it takes? And Spirit is saying, yes, you're only getting started. And you're a bit further than I feel like you even think that you are, but to not give up. Okay, there might be this wondering, should I give this up or should I take a pause maybe? I would say if you need to take a pause to do that, but those ebbs and flows are inevitable. We're all going to experience it no matter what level that we're at, feeling really excited about life and then also feeling very depleted and like we have zero energy or desire or excitement at all. And so Spirit is just bringing that reminder to you that if you're resisting it, it's going to make the ebbs and the flows much more tumultuous and noticeable, but the ebbs and flows kind of even out. So you kind of maintain a pretty good baseline when you have that awareness and when you're not resisting the natural flow of life. Because on this plane of polarity, I don't want to say you don't expect what goes up must come down, but just know if that happens, that you're good and that there is a divine reason for it. Nothing happens on accident. But your highest path does require you to put your heart first. It's not a path of logic. It's not a path that would make sense to other people. It's a path where your passion and your heart are really driving you forward. And Spirit is even saying, there's a reason why you get bored of certain things and you tend to give up for certain things. or give certain things up is because maybe it was more heady than it was of hearty, of a heart, your heart leading you forward. And so I do see that you've already been through the gamut a little bit in terms of like, this is not new to you. For majority of the people drawn to this pile today, this path is not new to you in terms of, okay, I really want to make this happen. I want to make my dreams, my passions come alive. I am seeing that you're a bit weathered in this in a good way, okay? And you're getting more excited because, it's taken a bit, or no matter what, like what success is for you and how long you've been on this path, I just feel like there were some things that were necessary for like some kinks in your auric field for spirit to like need to work out. Okay. And so you've been divinely guided, you've been protected, and you can follow your heart. And that's actually what is required on your highest path. And that's what's going to take you through the chaos and conflict, right? So the strength card, one of my favorite cards, is represented by the lion, which is like our carnal thoughts. It's our more primal and logical thoughts, especially when logic starts to like, get ahead of itself. It can kind of take us down pathways that we normally wouldn't go down if if our heart was leading the way. And so this beautiful woman with the infinity sign above her represents divinity. Okay. And so it's really about letting your divine self, your higher mind, come down and, and lead you. And, the mind is meant to be a servant. The intuition is supposed to be first and foremost, which is what the heart relates to, right? Our heart on an electromagnetically is 5,000 times more powerful than that of the mind. Okay, the heart and the body and our intuition can actually like predict what's going to happen a lot quicker than our mind can even register, right? So these are all fun, juicy things that have been studied, but your intuition, I feel like, knows this. So you are meant to be abundant. You are meant to, help heal the planet in your own unique way. I am seeing that. And the things that don't serve you, and that kind of deplete you of that, it's okay to walk away from those things. But don't walk away from this. Don't walk away from that little voice in your head, in your heart, that tells you that there's something great in store for you, because there is. That is true. That's not planted there for no reason. That's your divine self. So what is your main obstacle? We have mental conflict. Yeah, I was feeling that. I definitely was picking that up. So getting a little bit of, can this really happen? Like narratives that aren't serving you, right? The carnal mind is kind of getting ahead sometimes, I feel, and you doubt what is actually possible. You doubt, oh, well, and I've definitely been here. Like, I'm definitely rewriting my own relationship to like things like law of attraction and stuff like that, because I have gone through a lot of this of like, oh my gosh, is it really for me? And just watching everyone else do this, and like it's been slow and steady build for me, but there's been its own reasons, and I definitely see why things have worked out different for me. And I wouldn't take any of it back, because it just leads you down avenues you're supposed to be down. Essentially, you can trust the process, okay? And it's really important to watch those narratives. Whatever you repeat with a strong sense of emotion over and over and over again, that is going to end up being your reality, okay? So it doesn't matter if you have like a negative fleeting thought here and there, because our brains are like antennas and receptors. You're going to naturally pick up those vibrations from people around you, but you're not taking your cues from those things, okay? And they don't hold very much weight. Like, it can't actually, it takes a while it can take a while for those repetitive thoughts to lodge into your subconscious, but you guys are ahead of your game, okay? And so whatever you feel in your heart of hearts, go into your meditation, add some breath in that. Breath is like prana, that's life force. Whatever your breath touches, it's going to naturally expand and infuse with life force, and to make that reality more true for you, okay? So victory and success, yeah. So your main obstacle is you feel like you're going to be, you can't really do it, right? You feel like you can't really overcome it, but it's in your codes, okay? And this tenacity and this like internal conflict is something that, it's a part of the journey that we all go through, and in some unique way, you're going to help other people overcome it as well. So hope, yes, you are, yes, oh my gosh, yes, you guys, keep the faith, okay? It is so possible. This almost looks the same, like the same glowing hand. You see that? The same like glowingness in this hand. It's like spirit is not going to leave you cold and dry, high and dry. There might just be other like things and steps along the way that you need to fulfill before you see the proof to the degree that I feel like you need to see it to feel as successful as you need to feel. But I'm already hearing that you guys are already getting glimpses of the impact that you leave on other people. You're already getting confirmation, synchronicity, signs, etc. Okay, so keep the faith, all right? You're going to do it. It's going to happen. It is. Yes, rejoice in celebration. So maybe we've just been like taking things too seriously, and we've been forgetting to have, to prioritize joy in our life. All right. And realizing that, I feel like sometimes, a lot of the times, we can like still subconsciously attach our level of success to the numbers in our bank account that are not there. But there was this like great thing that a friend sent me on Instagram today, and it was like this man was preaching, and he said something about, he was like, when you ask someone, would they rather have $1 million today and then die tomorrow? And no one would say yes. He's like, okay, so then living is obviously more important to people than money. So money is not the first thing. If you ask someone, can I give you $1 million and then you're sick for the rest of your life? No, most people would say no. Okay, so then health is more important than money, right? And then he would say, you ask someone, if you can have $1 million today and then you can't see your mom or someone you really love, your child, for the rest of your life, would you take that money? No. So relationships are more important than money. So money is not the number one thing. Okay, it's nurturing those things that truly matter in our heart of hearts, and trusting that energy that, when we expand in one area, we're going to be expanding in all other areas. Okay, so now let's move on to what is helping you. We have light. Okay, so these kind of feel the same. It's like hopeful one day, hopeless the next kind of thing. But I feel like you're very aware. Okay, with the sun card, you have an awareness of the spiritual nature of reality. You have an awareness of your internal world to a good extent. I feel like you kind of know when you're getting in like a negative mindset, and that's wonderful. Awareness is the first step, and allowing the light of your higher self and the light of your awareness to help you shift out of those negative mind states, okay, or those lower mind states, or those states where you feel like, oh, should I go up? Should I do this thing or that thing? It's just like letting it be easy. And that could be a narrative too. Sometimes our narratives is like, it has to be hard, it has to be a build. Like, no, that's not always the case. If that were a truth, it would be the case for everyone. And so it's not the case for everyone, and that it's not the truth, but you have a relative truth. And so the more that we relax and we allow our minds to be calm and our hearts to be centered and steady, the more that we can hear how it is meant to be for us. We can hear our own relative truth, relative to our highest timeline and our soul's signature, our soul's blueprint. So yeah, you're ready. You're ready for this rebirth, okay? You're feeling like, okay, it's time. You're feeling like you've been primed for this, you've been prepared for this, and by the time this reality emerges, I feel like you're going to be really centered and really calm in yourself. And like, I don't know, I feel like too, sometimes I'm like, wow, I'm so glad this didn't happen when I thought it did, because my nervous system was so deregulated at some moments. And I'm like, oh yeah, like I can definitely help the world a lot more now that I've had some time to sit in my energy and to get to know my own essence. And like, it's not as easy for people to come in and try to tell you how it is for you, because you're so established in yourself. So something along those lines, I feel like you're really just establishing yourself in your unique paradigm and within your unique gifts that you have to offer. Yeah. So something that's helping you is you're very wise. Okay. You're tapped in. I was already feeling that. You're really tapped in. You're very aware, and you do have a pretty good grip on true spirituality. Okay. So you have a source of wisdom that comes from within you. And sure, sometimes it's hard to say where the source of something comes from. And, for example, someone asked me on Instagram, like, hey, do you think it's like inevitable that people, are going to like imitate us or copy us? Is that inevitable? And like, what do you think of this? And I'm like, well, if I learn something from someone, I like to like, show respect and like source where I learned it. But sometimes we hear things so much, it's so regurgitated that it's like really hard to say. And then also like a true teacher, should always be encouraging us to take the information and to sit with it enough and to compare it to our own actual experiences, so that when it comes out, when we're ready to teach it, it's our own uniqueness, right? It's our unique flavor, and it's not something that's regurgitated. It's like, okay, this is something that's I can stand behind this. And so that's what's going on with you, because I do feel like a big part of your journey has to do with the spiritual realms somehow. Okay, so definitely a light worker, someone that would probably even be talking about these types of things very casually with clients or with people that you're working with. But yeah, there's a lot here about being a teacher, a guide, a source of light, a source of warmth, a source of guidance, honestly. So positive movement forward. So yeah, I feel like, again, you feel this. You feel that you're moving in a good direction. And so that's good momentum to continue on, knowing that, we're never fully gonna, as long as we're on this planet, we'll have those little intrusive thoughts now and then, but we don't have to continue to feed them, okay? The second that we feel that fear energy come up, this happens on the path of healing. The more that we're healing and meditating and going within and practicing whatever it is that we practice, whatever our methods are, sometimes it comes up at really random times. Like your meditation 2 days ago could add to this huge surge of like anxiety that you don't really know where it came from because you went so deep in that meditation. And, that first layer of awareness tends to be all of our like unprocessed subconscious things. And so that meditation, you could feel like, oh, wow, I'm going really deep. I'm moving in a good direction. And then 2 days later, this like huge bout of anxiety comes up. That's a good thing. That means you're now clearing out the subconscious. It's good when we're not trying to attach stories to that feeling and those sensations that are purging. Okay, it's not bad when we do, but it just keeps it around a bit longer. And we're ready for new. You guys are so ready. I can feel it. You're ready for that newness to come in. And so, lastly, what is helping you? So we have 2 9s. You can count this as a 9. There's a 9 there. I do feel like you're clearing off old karmic ties, okay? Fulfillment of wishes. So this is like you're working on your internal life first, right? The internal abundance, and now the external abundance is going to follow. But I do feel that you're very self-guided. You're already someone that is very in tune with the subtle realms. You're a true mystic. And essentially that just means the subtle realms, the realms that are unseen, are just as real, if not more real to you than the realms of the 3D. Okay, so you're really in tune with those angelic, those more heavenly realms, hearing your spirit guides, seeing your spirit guides, your extra sensory gifts are very spot on, okay? And so you're just deepening into that, deepening into your comfortability, and just really immersing yourself in this as reality. And, it's only a matter of time. Don't give up hope. Don't lose hope. Okay, so this is for how can progress be made? Heal. All right, thanks, Spirit. We love when these messages come up. Discomfort. So leaning into the discomfort and being okay with discomfort being there. So maybe some of you guys, you have been considering something, just like putting yourself out there and being okay with the discomfort that comes along with trying something new, putting yourself out there. Let's get a more coherent message. We have communication. Yeah, I feel like this is you guys just talking about the things you're passionate about more, or really giving yourself permission to utilize social media more, getting uncomfortable, maybe going on a live, Instagram live, or doing an Instagram live with a friend, having a conversation with a friend, something that is kind of getting you out of this space. And look at this. I just want to point out that we have 2 of the Kundalini rising. So yeah, I feel like you are up leveling for sure. And part of the anxiety too could just be from Kundalini. You might be having some sort of Kundalini activations. Okay, so where that energy, again, that's where we can get that where you can feel very, that's with the Gemini energy too, where you can feel really high and manic. And then, a couple days later, it's just whew, where did that energy go? And, almost depressed. I try not to attempt, anytime we say I am and we follow it by a word, that's a really powerful phrase and statement. So I just like to say, energy is moving through, and I don't like to claim anything as my own, unless it's my true essence, which is going to, be beyond polarity, right? So yeah, this is healing whatever misperceptions you have by just allowing yourself to sit in the energy, letting it come up without attaching negative storylines to it, and getting a bit uncomfortable, and maybe even making new associations, putting yourself out there. And yeah, there's something here about utilizing social media as well. Yeah. Okay. We have solar flares. Yeah. Activate. I was feeling that. That goes hand in hand with these Kundalini activations that I was feeling. So yeah, you guys are definitely getting ready to upgrade and up level. And you might be feeling a little bit stagnant, where can I channel all of this energy? I would say truly, when we have all this energy and we don't have a creative project to funnel it into tarot or building your website or whatever, that Kundalini energy wants to create. When we don't have a positive, productive channel to create with it, it will become destructive. So a destructive way would be going through a hoe phase, or I'm not judging. Do your thing, okay? It's so weird. I totally wear my snake ring today too. Do you, boo boo? I'm not judging. I'm not one to judge, but there's destructive ways we can use this powerful energy of Kundalini, and there are constructive ways. And so you know, going into a meditation and focusing on the third eye and like having a solid root lock, right? Like you're squeezing your, like doing a Kegel or squeezing your, oh gosh, what is it called? You're just squeezing the pelvic floor. Yeah. And focusing on the third eye, something like that. And you're utilizing the breath to like send the energy into your higher chakras. Okay. Cause it really wants to move. I'm feeling that you really want to move. You really want to create. And maybe you're not like the energy you feel, like what you're seeing is not true, is like not super reflective of what you're feeling. And it's all good. Okay. Again, noticing the narratives that you're attaching to something, but you're definitely going through a powerful activation. Okay. Leaning into these activations and utilizing it in constructive ways is how you can help this process. And you might be feeling a little bit of like anxiety or even like social anxiety. And that's totally part of Kundalini things as well. And just like expanding your auric field and just having a supercharged auric field. Like I'm seeing you guys do, like there's so much here that reiterates like a super charged auric field. And there's also, your guides are saying to have fun, you know, go out, socialize, network, you know, meeting other people and the fields that you're in, and just really normalizing this as your paradigm, you know, normalizing this as like, and just really like allowing yourself to be an authority in this field and to, you know, to get okay with like being someone that is authoritative and being someone that really like walks the talk and like knows what the hell they're talking about. Okay, so pile number 1, this is beautiful, beautiful energy. Keep doing you, boo boo. Okay, you're doing great. If this was your pile today, go ahead and leave a snake down below and share anything else that you feel like you want to share. You know, sometimes your reflections, you'll never know how that might inspire someone else or allow someone else to feel seen. So yeah, share what you feel called to. Don't hold back. And I do hope to see you on my channel again soon. Pile number 1, much love. Hi, group number 2. Welcome to your reading, all in regards to your highest path. Super excited. We have 5 aspects we're diving into today. Feel free to stay for the shuffling portion, or you can skip right to the timestamp below. That gets right into the reading. Okay, so I've already connected with the guides that will be overseeing the group of individuals that are drawn to this group today, and just take a few rounds of deep breath as I am shuffling, okay, and laying out all the cards on the deck. So first, we're going to dive into you as you are and your energy, pile number 2. So what is pile number 2's energy represented by here, Spirit, just so we can confirm the beings that are drawn to this pile today? What is the energy of pile number 2? Anything else to represent the energy of pile number 2, please? Clear, concise, accurate messages. Okay. Okay, next we are asking, what is your highest path? What does pile number 2's highest path look like and feel like, please, Spirit? What does pile number 2's highest path look like and feel like, please? What does pile 2's highest path look and feel like, please? Clear, concise, accurate messages. Okay, and we're going to get some greater detail here. What does pile 2's path look and feel like, please, Spirit? What does it look and feel like? And lastly, this one. Okay. I'll leave this out. What is pile number 2's main obstacle? What is pile number 2's main obstacle, please? Some of y'all saw that and were like, What is pile 2's main obstacle, please? Okay. And what is helping pile number 2 the most? What is helping pile number 2 the most? What is helping pile number 2 the most? What is helping pile number 2 the most, please? What is helping pile number 2 the most? I don't know if I was shuffling upside down. Okay. And lastly, how can progress be made? made for pile number 2? How can pile number 2 make progress, please? Aligning with our highest path. How can progress be made? How can progress be made? Aligning with our highest path, please. All right. Let's jump into it. So we're going to start off with you as you are. So your energy, just to confirm that this is your pile. First, we have High Priestess, harness mystic power. So you are beings, pile number 2. You're a group that your intuition is very strong. You're someone that has a good connection to the realms beyond just the third dimensional realm. And I would even be as bold to say that those realms are almost more real to you, if not more real to you, or just as real to you as the realms of the 3D. That's essentially what the mystic is. You're someone that might practice like visualization techniques, meditation, breath work. You might be someone that practices just ways to harness the abundant of life force energy around us and within us in order to help manifest your future. Okay, so you're someone that definitely receives visions and synchronicities, and your connection with spirit is very spot on, and you put that at the forefront of your importance. Okay, so your connection to source and being able to clear the pathway, so to speak, between your limited self and your higher self. Okay, so next, eagle. Yeah, see from a higher perspective. So you're someone that definitely, I feel like, takes their karma. The eagle is all about taking karma, taking their karmic propensities, and excuse me, I'm like having like burping or something. Taking their karmic complexities within their talents and to transmute it, and to even draw those karmic complexities like from earth, so to speak, so like your root chakras, and to draw them upward. So to be able to see the higher perspective of why you have certain lessons and blessings, right? I feel like whatever happens in your day-to-day life, you're running it through the lens of your higher perception. You're running it through the lens of, how is this here to teach me? What is this here to teach me, right? You're running it through that spiritual eye, so to speak. And interesting that she has wings here as well. So yeah, I would say that. And there's like feathers up here, so that might be something you guys see a lot, or like feathers and just, again, just different forms of synchronicities that let you know that you're on the right path. But I do feel like overall your energy is you understand that when you're feeding illusory beliefs that just like don't support your paradigm, it feels contracted. And so you're always looking for that higher perspective, especially when you start to feel limited about something, because you're like, okay, I know that even if this is like not what's consciously happening, like subconsciously, you're like, okay, I have this thing, I have this weird energy that I'm feeling, and I feel contracted around this belief. And so I know that I'm not seeing it through my highest lens available to me in this moment, in this paradigm that I'm in. Okay, next we have Medicine Guardian, be open to healing information. So yeah, exactly what we were just saying is like you're constantly looking for that information and seeking that information internally and probably externally as well to heal your lens of perception and to heal your paradigm, to heal your subtle body, your energetic body, your spiritual body, mental body, emotional body, your nervous system, and some of you guys might be into like alternative ways of healing, alternative modalities. I feel like, you might dabble in Western medicine for the most part, but I deeply feel like the beings drawn to this pile would more align with the ways that ancient, like indigenous people looked at healing, like Ayurveda and homeopathy and like herbology, that kind of thing. And I feel like you guys believe in the power of your mind and the power of your beliefs in order to like heal your body. You guys, I feel like, would understand, or your belief system supports this idea and this paradigm that, I can heal, right? Like I'm always healing. The body is like this beautiful healing mechanism. And I feel like you probably don't abide by the limiting perspectives of Western medicine when it comes to your health and the intelligence of the human body. So next we have sun. So yeah, you're a very, very bright person. You're very illumined, okay? You shine everywhere. Like wherever you go, I'm hearing that you shine. You bring a lot of clarity into the lives of other people. Again, you just have this like this beautiful way of tuning into the paradigms that people are operating from, and you're able to help even them see like the spiritual reason behind something, or like even like the psychological or the physiological, right? You're very in tune with this avatar that we have, and just how to live the best life you can on earth with all of the things that are happening around us, and how to, like, I'm hearing something about biohacking too. So you're just like a spirit hacker, right? You're just, I feel like you're always helping other people and exploring yourself how to experience the most rich and abundant life possible, and understanding that that starts from the inside, and like nourishing your vessel. And as long as your energy is on point, then things externally are going to just like be a magnet to you, right? They're just going to attract to you. But yeah, someone that's very bright. I am getting someone that is very like charismatic even, and doesn't mind being in the limelight, or just has been thrown into the limelight, whether or not that is something that you are always comfortable with, but someone that just brings a lot of clarity wherever they go. And clarity is something that's very important to you, right? Making decisions in clarity and living your life from a place of clarity and not confusion, right? That is truth over illusion. So if this feels like you, we're going to move on. What is your highest path in this life? We have not for you. So being able to identify those things that are really not for you. I feel like you have a strong bullshit radar, pile number 2. And honestly, that sometimes, man, like, I feel like that can save so many people so much time, because, there's like, I don't know, I don't want to say so many snake oil salesmen out there. But, sometimes something that I've had to learn the hard way in this life is, people don't always have my highest intention. And I've dealt with people in this life where they were prioritizing their own wealth and prosperity at my own expense, like whatever it took, them to achieve it, like seeing them do that to myself and other people. And so I feel like you just have a strong bullshit radar. Like, you're able to identify like people's potential, but you're also real about what they're actually showing you. Okay. And so I feel like you tend to stay away from those things that like, okay, that's not for me. That's not for me. And yeah, I feel like that's really served you in this path. Building blocks. So meant to build some sort of success, some sort of empire here, and knowing the people that are meant to go along that journey with you and not. Right. So let's get a little bit deeper. So we have 7 of Wands. Yeah. So there's really this boldness about you that you really know what you stand for. And when you are really aligned, when your values really align with something and your whole body is on board, there's nothing that can stop you. Like the second that you know and that you're interested in something, and that really deeply rings true to your soul signature, you go after it full force. Okay. And that's what I'm hearing more and more, that there's like 1 or 2 things that you're meant to really get good at. You're really meant to shine at, right? There's like a few things, or one to 2 to 3 maybe things, but at least 1 that you're meant to really, really be good at, and to devote, a lot of your energy and your time into, and to build in this life, right? So, yeah, I'm getting the sense that one of the gifts that you have in this life is like, you don't tend to just dabble in things. Like, you're not about wasting your time or anyone else's time. And so I am hearing the thing that you commit to in this life, like, has the potential to build an empire for you. Okay. So we have Judgment. That's like beautifully in alignment with this, not for you. This is about having a really good discernment about people and about your direction and about what you're doing. And it's an internal type of discernment. It's not like, discerning based off of what's going to make you the most money. Although I see that, I'm sure that's very like obviously important to you, but I feel like the most important thing for you is, are you doing the right thing, right? Is this in alignment with my truth? Is this in alignment with what I stand for, what I stand behind? And yeah, I feel like that is the moneymaker. Like, the conviction you have in your path, the conviction you have in these healing modalities, or whatever you're exploring, this unique thing, this unique pathway that you're exploring, I feel like one of the reasons why it has such great potential is because like you are so on board with it. It's like your mind, your heart, you know, your mental body, I guess I gotta say that, emotional body, spiritual body, everything's on board, okay, with the things that you commit to. And because of that, that's why you meet such great success in certain things. That's not to say our career won't change here and there a couple times as we're really, you know, diving more into our own true essence and our own soul signature, you know, but I am just seeing when you commit to something, you bring your full self to it, right? And you shine wherever you go, whatever you're doing. Justice. Yeah, there is a lot here about doing the right thing, okay? And I feel like that's one of the reasons why you're such a self-explorer, and I feel like a big part of what you're giving to the world or your highest path has to do with, you know, again, like not settling. And it's like you are very integral, right? You're very integrity led. So you're not doing something just for the money. You're not doing something to take advantage of other people. You're doing it because you truly, deeply, 1,010% believe that this is healing, that this is the way to go, that this is, this has really deeply helped you get deeper into yourself and allowed a certain amount of peace and prosperity into your own life. And so you're fully behind it. It's not like you're gonna, I don't see pile number 2 being at a job where they're, you know, selling cars or something, you know, that's something that I don't really believe in, because it's like, no, this is like, my truth is not aligning with this, and this is like so outside of my integrity to do this. Like whatever you're doing in this life, you're doing it because you really feel like it's the right thing to do. And yeah, the money behind it, you know, the price point that you're behind, like you believe in it, you stand for it, and you know, it's something that is equal for everyone. So something that's giving to you, so you're not feeling like you're high and dry, but something that allows you to feel good and excited about showing up for what it is that you're doing. So your highest path, wow, so many major arcana here. Yeah, it's kind of like the universe is working through you. And again, it's like this neither here nor there energy where you're allowing a higher power to guide you, right? That was clear from the beginning. And it's this, like, you're not willing to sacrifice your truth, right? That's something that continues to be reiterated. You know that sacrifice is going to be made, and one thing you're not willing to sacrifice is doing what you deep down know is the right thing. Karma is really important to you. Understanding karma, right, is really important to you. I do believe that you are on a path where you don't want to accrue any more negative karma, right? You're just like done living from this limited lens of perception through lifetimes of living that way. And you've really been preparing for a lifetime where it really can feel like things are happening through you, right? It's like you're opening yourself to be a channel and a vessel more and more. So spirit can really work through you and to be the guiding light in your life. So next we have the 6 of Swords. So this is succeeding, like succeeding, doing better than expected. Okay. And so even though there's so much power here, I mean, and so much conviction in yourself and what you have to offer, I mean, we're part of this, you know, collective soup. You know, the morphic field of humanity it's a very real thing. It's been studied. It's, you know, species are connected, and we send messages and receive messages telepathically, vibrationally all the time. And so being realistic about where humanity is at in terms of what they think is possible is really important, because, you know, that's just going to show you, oh yeah, okay, like a lot of this is not necessarily me, you know, and the limiting perceptions of humanity can most certainly influence us, you know. But I do feel like for the most part, I don't think it really, like, I feel like the more you go down your path, the easily you can identify, like, okay, yeah, this is not me. This is not for me. This is not my work, right? This is not my misperception. It's just what I'm picking up from the collective. And lastly, yeah, I did see the temptation card come up again. So your highest path has something to do with healing the darkness on this planet, healing the density, shining the light of awareness on density, and to helping people, helping yourself get out of these very disempowered ways of doing things, right? To help people finally tip those karmic scales to where it feels like, yes, they are in charge of their life. Yes, they are co-creating with their higher aspect and not co-creating with their lower aspect, okay? And so helping people find true healing and doing the right thing, right? So, you know, in this day and age, and so much in Western culture, it's about like getting my bag, right? And we see so much how like even medicine, even like the pharmaceutical industry, it like puts making money above actually healing people. And that's like the opposite of what you stand for. And I feel like no matter where you go, you would be the person too to like call that shit out. Like that, no, like this is not what we stand for. Like to you know, that, what is it? The red pill, taking the red pill kind of thing. And you're all about putting the power back into the individual. Okay. That's what your highest path has to do with, or yeah. And there's so many different ways that this can manifest. Okay. And I feel like you guys would be the type of people that would already know, like, this is just confirmation of how it's manifesting in your own life in your own unique way, because it does feel very unique, very not in alignment with the mainstream, okay, with what it is that your highest path is, but it does have the potential to really build something solid for you. And yeah, because your heart is super in the right place, okay, pal, too. Your heart is really in the right place, and that is going to attract everything you need. Our hearts are electromagnetically 5,000 times more stronger than the mind. It's the strongest part of our auric field. Your heart's in a really good place, okay? So next we're going to get into what is your main obstacle? Passion ignited. So maybe keeping that fire alive, keeping that excitement alive, okay, when it comes up. Next we have fertility. So how do I do this? How do I birth this idea into creation? How do I birth this into existence, right? We have deception and envy. So maybe this is because I was seeing some of that devil energy. So maybe it's like, let me get all of the cards out. Yeah. Okay. So we have awareness and material harvest. So I feel like you're just kind of aware. You're very aware, right? You're very aware of the things that are like not right with this world, and learning how to, I don't want to say learning, but just remembering to keep your vibrational footing, so to speak, in the goodness that does exist, you know, because if humanity and more people saw the disempowering ways, like what they're doing that's destroying this planet, you know, for the sake of money and power, I feel like if they really saw what it meant to be empowered, they wouldn't be living through that lens of perception and carrying out those actions. So I feel like it's, you know, really understanding that people are not out to get you. It's just that they're confused, or they haven't been out to get you. It's just that they're confused, right? It's like the more we're operating in distortion and illusion, the more that our actions and behaviors are going to reflect that. And when you're around beings that have truly tapped into that wellspring of their higher self, like you're naturally really good at doing, pile number 2, it's like you see that their actions and behaviors reflect that more godly, way of being. It's not that God exists anymore or less, source, whatever you want to call it, the divine, and any one individual. It's that certain individuals have spent more lifetimes consciously moving towards and aligning with that God spark, right? It exists within all of us to the same degree, but you have done a lot of work in this lifetime and other lifetimes to recognize that. It's very clear, right? Coming into alignment with the truth of things, with that judgment energy that was so strong. Okay. And so I feel like the biggest obstacle is like, how do I do this? How do I keep my spark alive? How do I allow this spark to be enough to like create this huge thing for me, and not allowing your own mind to deceive yourself and to think, oh, it couldn't be me, right? There's so many people out there doing so many insane, beautiful things. Like that's the gift of like social media and like TikTok. You're like, wow, this person is just like crushing it. And this is such like a unique aspect, but it's so them, right? It's so them. You can really feel like what they're giving, whether it's a product or a service, is an absolute extension of their truth. And I really see that you have such a great connection to your soul stream. And so that is so potent, right? So that's so potent. It's like 90% of the work and any of this and anything that we're wanting to do from our hearts to create, internal and external prosperity, 90% of the work is embodiment. Okay. And you guys have that. You guys truly have, or it's in your codes to, the more that you just embody yourself and your soul stream and what it is that you stand for, and just like own it. Okay. With every ounce of your being, that goes before you. And it's like 10% of the work from there is just technicality. 10% of it is, okay, like all right, I'm getting clients. I just saw 22 on the clock. Okay. Getting clients, accounting, like the logistics, and that kind of like how makes itself known as we go. But part of your obstacle too is like, how can I really make a life where I'm abundant? How can I really make money? How can I really do this? How can I really, like, the practical things? And, that's like totally normal and to be expected in this world. But again, what goes before you, allowing that light of your awareness to go before you. And just like, yeah, the technicalities, to not let that go before you, but really your vibration and where you're coming from, your passion, letting that lead you, letting that express for you, like posting that post, just becoming very, just sharing, right? Just open arms, sharing what you have within as much as you can, and it will be reciprocated. I promise it will be reciprocated. And yeah, let's move along with this reading. So what is helping you? We have, we have patience and planning. Okay, so you're not willing to give up. We did see that with the 7 of Wands. Okay, so we have patience and planning. We have new beginnings. So you might be feeling this energy of like, oh yes, this is my time, right? I'm going to do this, or this is happening kind of thing. So we have new beginnings. We have temptation. We have prosperity begins and disruption. So what's helping you? There might be something that is like creating a little bit of dissonance in your field, like a tower type of moment. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where I'm going, but it's opening the doorway for a new beginning. Okay. And it's kind of allowing this old energy of like, your deception, right? That devil energy, what you're here to help heal on the planet. How do we become the best guide for that for other people is by addressing it within ourselves over and over and over and over again, to the point to where it becomes very hard for us to be deceived by the lower mind, right? By the limiting beliefs of humanity. Okay, so I do feel like there's a new beginning, or there's something new, right? For sure. There's a new pathway, a new door that is opening, or that is going to open soon, or that already has opened, right? And you've kind of been in this energy of like, okay, where do I go from here? What do I do? And this disruption, right? You're just like ready to tell a new story. I'm seeing you're so ready to like get beyond this thing and get beyond the anxiety and get beyond the like not believing in yourself. And you're ready to move beyond it, okay? And so there is definitely something shifting in your field. And, again, you guys are super wise of what's for you and what's not for you. So stick to your guns. Okay. And so this new beginning that's offered to you, it's like, what are you aligning with? Are you aligning with a path of temptation, of believing, the limited mind, or are you aligning with that brighter paradigm that says, yes, this is possible. Inner prosperity, outer prosperity. Yes, this is possible. Okay. Knowing patience and planning and building blocks go hand in hand with this. Okay. So I am seeing, again, there's an opportunity to align yourself with this timeline, with your highest path that is coming in very soon, okay? If it hasn't already like presented itself or come to you in meditation or something, but just as much as you can, begin those projects that, are really allowing you to show up unfiltered. So lastly is, how can progress be made? Alliance, we have conjunction. Okay, so working with like-minded people, or just knowing that you're meant to work with like-minded people. Okay, so putting yourself out there, going to events where there's people that think like you. Okay, it's so cool. Like when I start, so I'm like around Portland, Oregon, and there's so many creatives around this area, and just like, ecstatic dancers and fire dancers and like soul, like hip hop rappers and artists and photographers and like models, and it's so cool when you start to like network and meet more of these people. Like it's so cool. Like we've hosted events before. I've hosted events with buddies before that are in the creative fields. And it's like, wow, we can really do this. Like we could really make something so magical for humanity and healing and just abundant and raw and beautiful. And I've hosted them and I've been part of them that other people have hosted. And it's so cool. Like, yes, we can do this, So aligning with those other people that are in similar fields as you, or that are just as excited about life, that are just like different and raw and unique, so putting yourself out there and getting around those people that also have that fire alive, because there's nothing that will more quickly blow out your fire than being around someone that, and this is no judgment, but being around people that tell you can't believe in it, that you can't believe in your fire, right? But there's something very raw. I need to pause this for a second, you guys. I'll tell you in a second. Okay, so first I had to pee, but I drink a lot of water. But we have like a little mouse somewhere, and I just need to put up one of our catch and release things. But he was just making so much noise. I can't find where he's coming from or what he's getting into. Oh my God, I hear it again. but it's just like he's making this like crinkling noise, like he's trying to get into something. I don't know, but okay, it was really distracting. You guys know me. If there's like even the slightest sound, like I can't. Okay, so how can progress be made? Just like finding your flock or getting around other people that are just as passionate as you are about these things. Okay, so we have Pinnacle. We have Chiron. Yeah, as you heal yourself, you're understanding more about the healing process in general, and you're believing it more, right? It's like you're not standing behind something, or you're not preaching about something that you don't have deep experience in. Okay, so North Node, future. Okay, moving towards those things that are aligning, right, with your new future. We have dignified with strength, and we have collaborate. Oh my God, that almost is gonna bother me, with Aquarius. Hold on, you guys, I can't. Okay, so I can't find him. Okay, so really there's really practical information here, you guys. Okay, so Pinnacle is really about aligning with those things. Like, this is about practicalities. Like, do you need to update your website? Like, what do you need to do to practically move you closer in this direction to aligning with that brightest timeline, with this future that has so much potential? Okay, maybe you guys are already doing this, and this is mainly a confirmation of keep going. Okay, is this fully you? And how much is are those voices of your past, like family and just people you grew up with, how much is that still affecting you, and how much you're allowing yourself to fully shine? Okay, so maybe you're just like the black sheep of the family, the golden sheep, I should say, and you're just so different, you just have your ideas, and what you stand for now is maybe in some cases the opposite of what your family structure was growing up. Okay, and this is who are you choosing to align with? What voices are you choosing to align with? Beings that are operating from greater levels of clarity, and beings that are more representative of your soul signature, your truth, right? So this is all very important. Who are you allowing to speak into your heart? Who are you allowing to influence you and to speak into your life? Okay, and so healing these deep wounds and these aspects that have followed you around for some time, and being okay to, again, I feel like you might be really good at doing this with people that are certain people. I feel like it might be harder for other people or for other voices in your head to identify or to break some sort of karmic tie with. Okay, but this is really strength is all about those things that when a planet is dignified, it means that if let me think. So my Mercury is in Virgo, for example, and so that would be a dignified position and alignment for me because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, that kind of thing. And so you're putting yourself in those environments and those positions, and you're aligning yourself where you're dignified, where your natural strengths and natural gifts and talents tend to shine, and noticing where you are more tempted to die down and to clamp down. And it doesn't mean we necessarily have to completely write someone off, but in my experience, it's been very necessary for me to spend a lot less time with those people where I don't feel dignified and where I do feel judged, and they just don't understand me. And the more that you strengthen into your paradigm and what you stand for, the less that matters, and the more you can be in any type of environment and not really be affected. But for you, I am seeing that it's important you're in those environments that allow you to feel dignified. You're collaborating with those beings, and you're around those beings that naturally bring out the best in you. And there's nothing more beautiful and raw and just there's nothing more comforting than being around someone and beings that are just naturally want to be better. No matter if they're just starting on their journey or if they are decades into their journey, there's nothing more healing and just so that just elicits the sense of deep humility, and just you just want to be around those people that are just they have nothing to prove, and they just want to be better, and they just want to really give back to the world and the way that they can, in any way that they can, right? And so I really am seeing the people that you surround yourself with is important at this time. And if you can't cut off connections with certain people, or you just don't want to, or that doesn't feel right for you, then just being very aware of the deceiving ways that the mind can work, and to try to convince you that your dreams aren't possible and that this can't sustain you. This is not realistic. This is not practical. Okay. Cause I'm seeing that you're at, you know, a critical point, I guess, because I feel like your soul is just yearning to move on and yearning, you know, for this new beginning. And so, this new beginning that you take, again, it's like, there's something about your future opening up and being able to heal these old timelines, not by keeping ourselves in them, but we heal them as we bet on ourselves, as we bet on our life, as we bet on our future, right? So making those practical changes, being aware of the voices in our minds, and like just the, you know, who was speaking to us. You know, is your higher mind speaking to you, or is it this, you know, echoes from your past, so to speak? And knowing those will heal as you align with your brightest future, right? Because a doorway is really opening up here for you. I feel like you're on the brink of really a threshold kind of thing, and the scales are tipping for sure. And this is your time, okay? So being dignified, aligning with those things that allow your best self to come forward, because you have so much to share. You have so many gifts, and you're really tuned in, and your heart is in a really good place, pile number 2. So thank you so much for allowing me to read for you today. If this was your pile, go ahead and leave the sun down below, okay? Illuminating all aspects of self. And yeah, give this video a thumbs up. This all helps my messages reach the people that need them the most. All right. And I do hope to see you on my channel again soon. Much love. Hey, group number 3, welcome to your reading all about your highest path in this life. So I've already connected with the guides that are overseeing those beings that will be drawn to this pile today. Feel free to stick around for the shuffling portion, or you can head to the description box and jump right into the reading, okay? But we're just going to get right into it. The first aspect we're shuffling for is you as you are. So what is your energy, pile number 3? Just to make sure that this is your reading. What is the main energy that you are currently embodying? What is pile 3's main energy, please, for the guides overseeing those beings that are sticking around for this group? What is the main energy you would describe them as? How do they feel? What are their characteristics in this life? What are their personalities? Group number 3, please. Okay. All right, next we are asking, what is group number 3's highest path, please, Spirit? Clear, concise, accurate messages. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Pile 3's highest path. Pile 3's highest path, please. Okay. What is pile number 3's main obstacle? What is pile number 3's main obstacle? What is their main obstacle? What is pile 3's main obstacle? Okay. What is pile number 3's? What is helping pile number 3? What is helping pile number 3 along their path, please? Their highest path, aligning with their highest path. What helps them the most in this life? What is helping them on their highest path? What helps pile number 3? What is helping pile number 3? Okay. Anything else? Oh. Anything else? Okay, that's the last one. And how can progress be made? 222 on the clock. Nice. How can progress be made for pile number 3, please? How can pile number 3 make progress in regards to their highest path? Okay. And I actually forgot to, let's clarify. Any more details that will help us clarify what the highest path looks and feels like? What does it feel like? Energy. Okay. All right, we're gonna leave this out over here. It's gonna bother me if it's in the frame. Okay, So let's jump into this. Pile number 3, you as you are and your energy. The High Priestess, harness mystic power. So your connection to the divine is on point. I would say that you guys are engaging in practices even that help nurture this connection with your divine self, your higher self. I feel like you guys might be into practices that help nurture this connection. So energy work, meditation, breath work. I feel like you guys naturally came into this life with a really solid connection, is what I'm hearing. You came in with a really solid connection. Like I'm seeing a kid walk into the forest, looking up at the trees, and it's like this feeling of like you always knew from a young age, even before you had like spiritual awakenings. You always felt this deep reverence for life, and you always felt like you were here for something big. Okay, or you just also understood that life was big, and that life is not what it seemed. Okay, so the mystical realms, another way of saying that is the realms that are not easily accessed or accessible through the 5 senses, 5 physical senses. Those realms are just as real to you, if not more real to you than the physical realm. So very sensitive, okay? Highly intuitive. These are my empaths. These are beings that are just really in tune with synchronicities from the divine. You probably get a lot of synchronicities, probably also very close to animals, probably enjoy animal company more than the company of humans, maybe even have pets, cats, dogs of your own. And yeah, you guys might, one of the ways that your spirit guides communicates to you is like random feathers, letting you know that you're on the right path. Okay, so that's one aspect of your energy as you are. Stargazer, set your sights higher. So, oh, we're making cinnamon rolls tonight. So that was my oven preheating. But set your sights higher. So I'm already getting the fact that this group, like, oh my God, there's so much coming here. Okay, hold it, spirit. So you guys are go-getters. You guys have this beautiful connection to the divine, and at the same time, like, I feel like if you guys are into human design, these are like my generators, or like my manifesting generators. From what little I know about it, what I do know is, because I'm a generator, is that they're just the type of people that once they set their sights on something, that they will go after it, right? There's like no stopping them. There's no wiggle room. There's no doubt. It's like you just go for it. And I feel like you're always on the path of growing and wanting to be better. And, you know, despite your past and despite challenges of like being front and center, or what, you know, whatever, we are all gonna deal with imposter syndrome to various degrees. Like, despite even your greatest doubts, is what I'm hearing, you're always like pushing yourself. You're always like, okay, let's do this. And you have many moments in life, I'm hearing, that you look back and you're like, damn, we did it. Like, we did it, you know, to those past versions of yourself, and just feeling a reverence and a respect, and just very proud, like a good sense of pride, a healthy sense of pride for past versions of yourself. This is also telling me that you guys are probably very in tune with astrology, or know a lot about astrology. And again, this is just confirming this mystical sense, and how you're very in tune with natural law, nature, the stars. All right. So yeah, getting more into it. Traveler, move in a new direction. So yeah, always moving, always shifting, never staying in one place too long. You guys are on an accelerated path, is what I'm hearing. So you're growing. You grow very quickly, and a big part of that is your connection to the divine, right? You don't linger in things, even when, you know, people would be like, hey, but you're like doing really good here, or like the relationship is going really well. You know, if pile number 3 like feels like it's time to get moving because of that strong connection to your soul self, like, you just do it, you know? And I feel like you're respected a lot because of that. And honestly, I feel like that's what makes you a great teacher by example, is because people just see you shifting and lifting and always moving. And they think, I feel like from the outside looking in, it seems very easy, but you know yourself and you know your path. And on one hand, I feel like it is easy. On another hand, I feel like, you know, it's can be challenging breaking through the veil of thickness of illusion and fear and limitation on this planet. But I do feel like you guys are very in tune, right, with like the stars, and your destiny path is what this is telling me. And so when the wheel turns, it's like you're catching that wave, right? When the wave comes, you're catching the wave. So yeah, it could even be someone that travels, or that is like likes to move around a lot, or that is into, like, I'm just getting someone that's very kind of like eclectic and different and doesn't really move with the mainstream. Okay, so like maybe someone that like I'm hearing something about polyamorous relationships or open relationships or something where it's like the way you do life, like homeschooling, unschooling, like very unconventional, but very led by spirit, and very respected too, you know. Yeah, very respected. I could go on about your energy, but just to get moving, we're going to continue. So that I feel like it should be enough to tell you, you know, that's enough information to confirm whether this is your reading or not. Next, we're going to get into your highest path. So serendipity. Yeah, there's that luck. There's that like things just work out for this person. I'm tuning into like how people see you. I'm able to like see you, or I'm feeling you. I'm feeling into your energy through the eyes of other people right now. And that didn't really come through for the other two groups, but I'm just going to honor it because it's kind of a fun way. Spirit is just like giving me a glimpse into your energy, is like, wow, that just, things just work out for this person. They're always on the move. They're always doing something. It's like people just feel that you're so aligned with what you're here for. And they feel that your sights are like, you don't get caught up in petty drama, right? Your path is really not one that is like, although you are probably bringing great benefit to people on this earth, and I wouldn't be surprised if everywhere you go, you just leave a wake of sunshine and happiness and change and just like a true sense of like camaraderie and reverence everywhere you go. I feel like you're not super concerned with this, just like the earthly form, right? You just see it as a journey, right? There's so much here about just like, this is just a journey. You know, I'm just a traveler here. God, is that a song? Yeah, we're just travelers here. I don't know if that's part of a song, but that's what I heard. And so it's like you move so in flow with things, and that's what your highest path is. Okay, and so I feel like maybe this is just confirming to you, maybe you felt that like that's like a negative thing or not a good thing, okay? So could even have, you know, some more like mutable energy in your chart. So Gemini, Virgo, Sag, Pisces, where you're kind of always on the go, and you know, you actually thrive on change. You know, thrive on change and challenge, and just like always wanting to progress and get better. Okay, so your highest path looks like cleaning it up. Okay, so what did I hear when I first heard? Gosh, there was something that I heard when this card first flipped over, and I'm hearing if I just get the rest of the cards out, then I'll remember. So let's get deeper into this, to what your highest path looks like. Two of Cups. We have Death. So a lot about transformation. Yeah, so there's more here confirming just your hands-off approach to life. It seems very hands-off. Okay, it seems very hands-off, but it's like you're not taking orders from man, right? You don't take orders from man. You take your orders and you answer only to the Most High. And a big part of this clean it up is like you don't let things linger, right? That's why you're always on the move. It's like the second something feels off and the second something starts to like cloud your field, I feel like you're really good at discerning, where is my work? Where is this like catapulting me into a greater version of myself, right? Where am I supposed to learn here? And where is it just so, where do I just need to be honest that it's time to change and it's time to move on? And I feel like too, your highest path probably involves meeting a lot of people and transforming in like containers of love, like romance. Like I feel like this is a group where your highest path, whether or not you're in a lot of relationships, it doesn't matter. A lot of transformation happens. I feel like you touch a lot of people, like you transform a lot of people. Like people are not the same after meeting someone like you. And that's, you know, kind of what goes along with the territory of being a healer and an empath, is that you have this like this natural way to transform people on a deep cellular level. And you impart wisdom and you show them like methods, or you just like open people's eyes up to a different way of being and a more free and serendipitous way of being. And so I feel like sometimes people might want to cling to that, but at the end of the day, I just really feel like, yeah, this is probably why I'm seeing your energy and feeling your energy so much from an outside perspective too, is because you come into people's lives and it's so transformative, and I feel like they can almost want to cling to you. Pile number 3. I'm not sure why I'm going down this tangent so much, but you know, I'm just going to honor that this is something you guys need to hear right now. But I feel like it's because you come into someone's life and you're just such a breath of fresh air. It's like you're so rare. You're such a rare individual, and it's like you're not tethered. You're not caught up in the same bullshit that a lot of people are caught up in, this lifetime. I'm hearing something about the higher chakras. And so that also does lead me to believe that you're doing something where you're consciously, allowing the energy, or you're cultivating the energy into the higher chakras, into the higher energy centers, because, gravity is the thing. Gravity is going to naturally pull, that our energy into the lower chakras. And so a lot of us, don't have a problem being connected to those, but there's something about you that you came in with an open crown. You guys might even have had like migraines growing up, or like a lot of headaches when you were a child, and like things that like neurologically or something with your brain, something like pain. I'm hearing something about pain in your head because your crown was like, there was like no way that your guides were going to let your crown stay closed. And so it might have come across as like headaches, migraines, where you're like throwing up and you're so sensitive to light and you're like sick for a full day. Okay, so this is crazy, but this is just really what I'm getting, is that you come into someone's life and you really transform it, and people really feel that your heart is in the right place, and that, you mean well, and that you mean what you say and you say what you mean. Okay. And I feel like you help other people clean up, like in some way, clean up their energy field. Yeah, like get more clear about themselves and cultivate purity, greater clarity and purity within their own selves. And so I feel like that's why people can get so attached to you, because it's like so transformative being in your field. And that's a big part, like a big part of this energy is like what you're doing with individuals. But I also really feel that you're doing this some sort of like as a vocation too. I mean, it's just so clear that you have what it takes. I mean, for this to be a type of a vocation, to where you actually make it look easy. And the only way it's like, the reason it's easy though, is because like you're working on yourself. Like it starts with yourself. Like you're actually embodying these practices. Like 90% of what it takes to like be, I feel like, successful, and like any part of what we're attempting to like give to the world is like actually embodying it. Like that goes before you. Your message goes before you. And from there, like the people want to work with you. You attract like it's very hands off. You just attract, what you need when you need it. So strength. Yeah. So overcoming a lot of obstacles. Your highest path has to do with like, again, it's like you are able to understand and see the human psyche, right? The line represents the carnal mind, or the mind of limitation, right? The echoes of humanity's pain and suffering. And then this woman with a beautiful infinity symbol represents divinity, right? So your higher self coming down and kind of taming the beast. And so like what I love about strength, this is actually a tapestry I have in my room. Before I even got into tarot, I was always drawn to this. Like before I started reading, really, I was always drawn to the strength card. And it's all about being able to like work with your ego and not shaming it, but it's like recognizing where you are, embracing where you are, accepting who you are, and then becoming God, right? In the Law of One, it said the 3 steps to becoming the creator: know yourself, accept yourself, which is the hardest part for many people, and then become the creator. It's like you already are, but you become like that. You just open the creative channels more through that acceptance. You're not denying any aspect of your creation, right? 6 of Swords, this is succeeding. These go hand in hand. This is like success like against all odds. Okay, so this is also telling me that you've probably had many times, even though your life is like the undertone, and what a lot of people see is you being very in flow. What people don't see is that you've met a lot of obstacles. Is this really practical? Is this really for me? Can I really do this? Okay, you've met many challenges. It has not been easy. Even though you have this like beautiful, deep connection, it has not been easy, especially on a planet where the kind of stuff that pile number 3 is naturally drawn to, these naturally, these more, these natural modalities of healing, holistic health, is like not widely accepted, but again, going back to a lot of people are operating from those lower 3 chakras. Okay. And so you've done in past lives and in this life. That's why it was so easy for your crown to come online, your throat to come online, your third eye to come online in this life, is because you were cultivating that so much in other lifetimes, right? And so, this is such a dense planet. Modern medicine and modern science is really studying like denser forms of consciousness. And you have done the work, I know this is true, especially ancient yogis and mystics know that the less dense we are in consciousness, things just begin working differently. Right? Things do not work the same, and healing is different, and what is possible is different. And, God has more mobility to operate in our day-to-day affairs, the less dense we are in consciousness. And so, yeah, I mean, this is beautiful energy, okay? But you have been through a lot. It has not been easy. I feel like you're, on one hand, and this is one of those things where struggle is relative, and just as success is relative, okay? But I feel like you have really done a lot to tame a lot of beasts, and you faced a lot of demons within yourself, and you've gone through transformation after transformation after transformation, okay? So next, the Hermit. Yeah, this does give me old soul energy, okay? This is confirming that going off by yourself, meditating, contemplating the deeper truths in life, shutting out the external world, right? And dark nights of the soul I'm hearing too, where you've been pulled into the darkness. But like Bashar says, the deeper you pull a rubber band into darkness, when you let go, the faster and the farther it flings into the light. So I do feel like this is a pilot too that has experienced the more hard aspects of the human psyche, right? And you understand it's not just lip service what you teach on, and the healing you're able to bring to other people. It's because you have been to really dark places within your own lifetime, your own experience, okay? That is confirming even more all of these challenges. It's like you've had so much suffering that has catalyzed you to ask the deeper questions on life. And honestly, it's so, it's never surprises me. Like, honestly, pile 3, like, I meet people like you, and it's people like you. And sometimes I don't know why I'm still surprised, because it's like the brightest people I meet. And again, we can all have these like surface judgments about people, but like when you meet someone really bright, and then you hear about their past, and it's like, wow, like that person has like, it just makes sense that they had been through some shit, and that they use that shit as fertilizer, right? To grow a beautiful garden, to grow something like so beautiful. And sometimes I feel like, this is just a random tangent that I probably don't need to get down, but sometimes I think we can like make the assumption that, wow, someone must have had it really easy. And it's like, no, you fought to be where you were. You've had to clean up a lot of shit in your nervous system, your field, your subconscious, your belief systems, etc. You've met yourself over and over again in this life. 10 of Pentacles, there's that community that you're meant to have. This is talking about not just being financially happy and prosperous in this life in terms of your highest path, but the relationships, okay? Your community is there. That came through in the beginning, right? About how you working with people one-on-one is very transformative. Being in your energy one-on-one is very transformative, but also you do have what it takes. It is within your highest path to be involved in some sort of community or to be known in your field, right? Whatever your gifts are, whatever you're doing to give back to the planet to help them clean up their own field and to get more clear about themselves. I feel like you are someone that is really respected for your crafts. People really respect you, no matter how many people are a part of it. That numbers don't matter, right? Numbers don't really mean anything. It's about the depth of your sincerity, the depth of your integrity, and the transformations that, are you feeding people illusions? Because sometimes people will stick around if it's like we're feeding them what they want to hear, or you really allowing them to be their own best guide and to turning them towards truth, because that's what they're going to take with them into the next life, right? So carrying on, 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, so something that gives back to you just as much as you give to it, okay? Like sharing your gifts, right, with other people. I see that she has gifts, right? Sharing gifts with other people and being reciprocated for it. And I do see like a lot of people look up to you, okay? And whatever it is you're doing. So the way this can manifest can be so many different ways, which I know it can sometimes be cryptic, but one of the reasons is because, there's a lot of different people that will be tuning into this, and the guides like to, make it general. So, but it can fit a lot of different scenarios, all right? So what is your main obstacle? We have conflict and defeat. So yeah, there's that, like, can I really do it? Imposter syndrome I'm hearing as well. Can I really do it? Do I really have what it takes? Maybe you've tried things before and it's failed, but you keep getting called into this direction. You're like, can I really do it? Like, other people are taking off, other people A, B, C, and D. And yeah, and there's a reason for it, okay? We have the heart chakra, beautiful. So your main obstacle, heart chakra, keeping your heart open. We have more of that death energy and passion ignited. So yeah, I feel like the main obstacle might be just how to, It's interesting because I don't feel like your heart is closed. If anything, I feel like if I really feel like this is more of allowing these past versions of yourself and past narratives that were born from the times where you didn't feel good enough, and where, you know, someone ridiculed your work, or you were your brightest, most serendipitous self, and, you know, someone said that wasn't good enough, or, you know, told you to like, you know, shut up or something. You know, there's something about imprints that are left from times when someone was speaking to you from their own wounded self and not sticking with you. Okay. And I feel like it's really understanding, and I feel like it's recognizing in your heart of hearts how much you have actually transformed. Okay. And giving yourself permission to just know how I feel like you guys really don't see yourself the way other people do. And maybe that's also one of the reasons why your guides were really taking me down that tangent, is because you guys don't see how impeccable you are. And I feel like you don't truly believe there's a part of the psyche that you're working to clean up that maybe still doubts, is it really possible? And it's so interesting because we have so much of this energy that's like, yes, your heart is on board, your gut is on board, your sacral's on board, your center of creativity is on board, right? This is the womb, that's that creative, like birthing, yes, it's possible. And I really feel like it's like you don't see how much you've transformed and how far you've truly come. Okay, and so maybe you even think that you have, like, there's that imposter syndrome of like, I'm not there yet, I'm not ready yet, right? But it's like when you bet on yourself, and when you are showing up as a pristine, as much as you can, as a humble, pristine servant of the divine, your heart's in the right place, it's like the universe truly bends, it responds to boldness, right? Terrence McKenna said that the universe responds to boldness, okay? The winds of the universe change to support the being that is opening their sails up as a humble servant of the divine. Okay. And I feel like just trusting that that's enough is going to take you where it needs to. It's going to sustain you. And knowing that the ebbs and flows are part of it too. And the less you judge yourself for the ebbs and flows, the less intense the ebbs and flows are going to be. But baby, you are up to speed. Like, you have so much to give. Your heart's on board. Like, your sacral's on board. I feel like it's just starting to take those steps and knowing that the version of yourself that you think you need to be, like, it's going to come on board when it needs to. You know, it's just starting where you are and not taking too close to heart those parts or those times where it's like you get some feedback that maybe, you know, you're like, oh God, like, should I just throw everything in? You know, when you get feedback from something that you're really into and it seems like it makes you just like question everything or something, you know, or when it seems like you do one wrong thing, it's like, oh, like, I knew it wasn't for me or something. And it's like, no, that's part of your highest path. Is it's not, you know, the strength energy, the Six of Swords energy. It's like you will overcome it. And it wouldn't be a worthwhile journey if there weren't those aspects, right? So what's helping you? Discontent and boredom. Yeah, I love this. You are tired of that old narrative. You are so tired of that old story. And so you're getting to a point to where I feel like you're ready to actually recognize, because this is only showing up faint. I'm not seeing this as an overwhelming obstacle. Okay, and it's much more in your psyche, and I don't feel like it's a deep part of your subconscious. I don't feel like it's super deep in your subconscious. But I feel like you're getting so bored of the narrative as it's been. You're getting so bored of like, I'm not ready. You're so bored of what happens when one little thing goes wrong, and then how you tailspin and how, you know, the self-sabotaging tendencies that might exist. You're getting so bored of it. And that's serving you, because now it's like, it's inevitable, right? I am seeing it's like, it's only a matter of time. It's really what I'm feeling. It's not if, it's when. Okay. So it's like your success, your highest path, I do feel like is inevitable, and you can speed it up by just like, you know, again, yeah, let's be bored of it. Like, it's like there's that saying of true change happens when we get tired of our own shit. You know, that's what's serving you here. Is I feel like you're like ready to step into this role, and that power and that strength and that confidence is really coming online to a point that is irreversible. Okay. What is helping you triumph? Yeah. You don't give up. You do not give up, no matter how debilitating something was, no matter how embarrassing. Like, I've had so many moments in so many different areas of my life where, you know, it's like that comes along with the territory of stepping into your greatness, right? You're going to feel like you flopped. You're going to feel like you failed. You're going to feel like you suck. You're going to feel like, you know, so many things, but it's not true. You know, it's just echoes of humanity. You know, it's just echoes of like the false self. the echoes of the not self, right? And so what's helping you is you don't have it in you to give up, right? You're always like, all right, let's just do this. Like, let's get over this. I feel like if anything, you started to like learn from embarrassment and learning from like, I feel like it's one of those things where you've gone through it so much to where it's like, whatever, kind of getting to that point where, again, the boredom, it's like, the limited mind just like holds less and less weight. It holds no weight. Like, it might still be there, but you're like, whatever, the waiting game. So you're patient with your journey. You're patient with yourself. You're patient with your transformation. So on one hand, you're like, let's do this. But on another hand, I feel like you're also realistic about, the cycles you've had to clear up, the cycles you've had to tie off, in terms of like karmic things, karmic patterns, generationally, collectively. We all have different missions here. And some of us definitely do have missions where it's less about our own self, and it's more we came to take on more of collective karma than anything else, to just like help lighten the load for humanity. So next, light. You're illumined. You're a very aware, very illumined individual, pile number 3, and you have the light, man. Like, nothing is going to put out your light. All right. You just have this natural luminosity about you. You're radiant. You understand. Like, I feel like it's so easy for you to recognize these patterns when they come up. That's one of the reasons why they don't keep you down for long, right? You just have this like true unbridled connection to your higher self. And I really I can say boldly, you've always felt that, even if like, I feel like you guys are the type of group that comes in with the higher chakras, very active, and it's more of a cleaning and a refining of the lower chakras, okay, with whatever experiences that you went through, and even just taking birth on planet. Like, the birthing process within itself is traumatic, okay, and especially if you don't resonate with Earth being your native planet, and you do resonate more with coming here to maybe help lighten the load collectively, more so, it's even more like, whew, culture shock, to say the least. And lastly, love begins. There's so much love in your reading. I do feel that you are such a heart-led individual, and you really care about other people. You really care. Like, this is a group, I'm seeing that 6 of Pentacles come up again. Like, you would do it for free if you could. You totally would do this for free, and that's how you know your heart's in the right place. It's like, what would you do if the money wasn't there? Whatever it is that you're naturally drawn to, I feel like you would, because you just like understand what it's like to like not have the resources, or you just don't like to see people struggling. You don't believe in this system of money and the oppression that money and just, the rules of humanity just like don't make sense to you. And so I really do feel like something that's helping you is that people feel that you are like, you see them as an equal, and that you're like really there. They're like, let's do this together. Like, I'm seeing someone just like reach out their hand and, to pull someone up. It's like, yeah, you guys are just like the real deal. Okay. And I love your energy. I really do love your energy. And I see why people would just want to stay in your energy, because it feels like a retreat, like being around you feels like a retreat. Like, people with how much, you just like go somewhere for a few days and you leave, you're like, oh, I'm so replenished. I feel like that's the energy that you give to other people. And so maybe that's confirmation. If some of you guys want to run a retreat someday, it's like naturally you have that type of energy that's so replenishing. Okay, so lastly, how can progress be made along your path? Arrival, first house. So yeah, I feel like just taking that initiative, okay? Letting it become your personality, all right? Letting this vocation and these gifts and whatever it is, like letting it just being it and not tiptoeing. My favorite quote, the flower doesn't open or close depending on who walks by. So really letting this be who you are. Again, that's 90% of the work for, to finally allowing the resources to come in. It's like people can feel you walk the talk, like who you are when the camera's on is the same person as when the camera's off, maybe that's what she said jokes increase a little bit, but, something like that. Like, it's just really, being who you are unapologetically. Okay. And going for the things that you're supposed to do. More of this sun. Look, it's coming up right above the sun card. So yeah, I mean, we have, 18 twice. Beautiful. So yeah, I was seeing 9 come up a lot. So a lot of like, I feel like the karmic scales have tipped for you. And there was a lot of like, in the beginning of incarnation, it felt more challenging, the strength energy, the 6 of swords, as you were undoing those karmic knots. But I feel like this is just like becoming so self-sourced. And again, it's like unapologetically being you and not waiting for permission to shine as brightly as you were meant to shine. Not waiting for permission, not waiting to think that you haven't transformed enough. It's really just like starting where you are, because I feel like you're going to surprise yourself with how much wisdom, like I feel like you just ooze wisdom wherever you go naturally, but I feel like just owning it and stepping into it, and just you naturally transform. There's so much fire across this whole board. And so, there's so much radiance about you. And it's like, don't think that you're going to come across as a know-it-all. Don't think that you're going to come across negatively or anything. I feel like this is what the world is waiting for. This is what you came here to be. And it's okay to own that, right? It's okay to be in the spotlight. It's okay to shine. You have the sun, analogy card, metaphor coming up 3 times in the spread, in this reading. Okay. So you're meant to shine. And maybe, look at those aspects. Your Chiron, what is that? Is it, do you have an aspect of Chiron that, or a part of your astrological chart that makes being in the spotlight feel kind of weird to you, or make you feel like, question, can you really do that? And, can I really hold this type of space? Is this really, like, can I do this? Do I have what it takes? That imposter syndrome. Yes, you do. You absolutely do. And, I'm going to come back to that Aslan thing from Chronicles of Narnia, when Prince Caspian was like, I don't know if I'm ready to be the king. And Aslan was like, because of that, it's because of that very thing that I know you are. It's like the people that are like the most power hungry are probably the people that, don't need it or just don't need it yet. You've been cultivated for this role, and your humility really speaks. Okay. But you're meant to shine. You really are. Resources. So how can progress be made? Yeah. Maybe you're investing into something, or maybe it's like saying too that you're not worrying about the resources so much, okay, and not worrying, like, don't worry too much about those things, and knowing that it will kind of take care of itself. And when you're ready to like level up your prices, because I'm just getting the sense that pricing and practicalities is kind of like weird to you, or just like you would rather not have to deal with it. And so the piece of advice that I'm hearing right now is like, what can you, get behind? There's a saying of like, there's a coach at every price point. So what price point do you want to get behind? That kind of thing. Okay. Maybe it's in some way, it feels like, practically speaking, like, can this really happen? Yes, it will. The resources will come to you, right? You are becoming a magnet. And this is like being okay with, putting the price that you are excited to put behind yourself. Okay. And not letting that stop you from getting started. And, even if it's like you still are maintaining that 9 to 5 or something, that, or even a part-time job, to keep the lower centers happy and integrated, right? Because that's something that came up, is keeping the lower centers integrated and happy while you're, doing this, dabbling in these other practices. Okay. But no, don't let that stop you. It will come. I promise. And I've been here, and I've been on this journey for a long time as well. And I promise it does get to a point to where it's just like, wow, yeah, you're like, wow, these are just numbers, and this is so fun. It becomes more of a game, right? And that shift happens as you're going about it, as you're taking the steps, but you're going to be taken care of, okay? And this is also confirming those lower, remind me, first, second, third chakra, right? This is, yes, first, second, third chakra kind of energy. And really allowing yourself to ground into this earth plane, and to utilize your intuition to help you navigate. All right. To utilizing your intuition to help you navigate and to do it right. I'm even hearing something, this is a long reading. I'm even hearing something about like, if you need to like play around with the pricing and stuff, and to not, just don't let that, you can change your prices at any time, and you can do things donation based, that type of thing. But I'm hearing something about practically speaking, don't let the practicalities stop you, and just like take it as it comes. But I know you would do it for free anyways. And I'm also hearing that it's going to take a lot of pressure off of you, and it's going to, I feel like, make you a lot happier as an empath to be able to put your energy first, right? To put how you feel first. And so, eventually, where it's like, this is kind of sustaining you, and you don't have to like spread your energy so thin. And it's like, you can give more. And because of that, you're going to receive more, it truly is how it works. All right, Power 3, I'm going to leave this here for now. This is beautiful. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for being here. If this was your reading today, go ahead and leave the sun emoji down in the comment section. And yeah, leave a comment down below if it resonates. And I do hope to see you on my channel again soon. Much love.